One of my biggest issues within the black community is the lack of value for life and the willingness to take life with ease without any second thought. And I want to start this video off by reading you an article. All right, this article was written in 2022, but I think it's still very relevant. This is only 2 years later, and it's called "The Leading Cause of Death in Young Black Males." So let's just jump into it. Young black males deserve to grow old like anybody else, but are frequently denied that opportunity. The recent deaths of high-profile rap artists Takeoff and PNB Rock reflect an American crisis, the black male homicide epidemic. Our lives are frequently cut short and guns play a central role. Gun violence generally reduces the overall life expectancy of black Americans by 4 years. Still, there is a brutal reality that needs to be acknowledged regarding black males in particular. We likely know someone, a family member, friend, or acquaintance who was killed by a gun. So let's get into the numbers. The rate of gun-related homicides spiked during the pandemic, as did black male deaths. The most significant increases in gun-related homicide between 2019 and 2020 occurred among black males, according to data from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC. So what is the takeaway? Homicide is the leading cause of death for black males ages 1 to 19 and 20 to 44. Now let's be honest with ourselves here. Who is doing the killing? Who is doing the shooting? It's black men. That's true. These lives are being lost within black communities. We cannot deny the truth. That is the truth of the matter. These lives are being lost within black communities. It is black lives taking black lives. And before people say, oh, well, you're only using articles written by white people, and oh, white people have the agenda, they're writing the articles that paint black people in this certain type of light. Think again, because the author of this article here is a black man. So can't use that one against me. I know people always try to find any angle they can get to try to like weasel their way out of like accountability, or, you know, just like always pin it on the white man every single time, but it can't do it this time. And I always make sure of that. I always make sure I try to use sources from black people so people can't always pin it on, well, it's the white man painting the narrative. It's the white man doing this. It's the white man doing that. Because that's always the first angle they take is that. No, it doesn't apply here. This is just a well-researched black man telling the truth. There's nothing more to it. Now, I would like to go over this article here. Music to Die For, How Genre Affects Popular Musicians' Life Expectancy. This is what I would like to highlight right here. Murder accounted for 6% of deaths across the sample, but was the cause of 51% of deaths in rap musicians and 51.5% of deaths for hip-hop musicians to date. This could be due to the genre's strong associations with drug-related crime and gang culture. And here are the numbers, all right? And you can see here, it's the cause of death by genre, various causes of death for musicians of different genres. Now, let's look at these red numbers here, all right? Red, significantly above the overall average for cause of death, right? So we look at these numbers. Let's find hip-hop and rap. Do y'all see the problem here? Under homicide, y'all see the issue here, right? Y'all see the issue here. So for all the people in my last video that suggested that hip hop doesn't cause this, it has no effect on this, the numbers say otherwise. The numbers say otherwise. And it's not a race thing, because a lot of blues and jazz musicians, they're black as well, but look at their homicide rate. Look at that. Look at jazz, 1.9%. Look at blues, 3.5%. Not very high. You have tons of black musicians in these genres. Nope. Specifically rap and hip hop. Look at these numbers here. All right, now let's look at a predominantly white genre, country, right? 1.6%. What's green? Significantly below the overall average rate for cause of death. Would you look at that shit? It's almost as if it's not a racial thing, it's a cultural thing. Just like I said in multiple videos I made, and so many people wanted to contest me on this and said I was wrong, and yo, you don't know what you're talking about, this, that, and the third, right? But all the numbers back up my point. All the numbers, all the statistics you can bring up back my point. And the funny thing is, out of all the people that disagreed with me, not a single one of them could provide me credible information that disproved my points. Not one. So it's so funny, people actually have the audacity to waltz into my comment section and claim I have no idea what I'm talking about. But every single observable statistic backs up every point I am making. So there is no way in hell that you can say that the influences of rap, hip hop, whatever you want to call it, right, has no influence or impact or effect whatsoever on the crime taking place within the black community. And once again, I'm gonna circle back. It's black lives taking black lives. Who killed X? A group of black guys. Who killed PNB Rock? A black guy. Who killed King Von? A black guy. Who shot 50 Cent? A black guy. Who killed Nipsey Hussle? A black guy. Who killed Young Dolph? A black guy. Who killed Pop Smoke? Group of black guys. Who killed FBG Duck? A black guy. Who killed Young Pappy? A black guy. Who killed Takeoff? A black guy. We can even take it back. Who killed Big L? A black guy. And mind you, this doesn't even scratch the surface of names that I can name right now. This doesn't even scratch the dust off the surface of how many rappers' lives have been lost to the hands of another black man. Why? Why? And mind you, this article was written in 2015. This is outdated. Do you know how many more rappers have been killed in this time span? Think of all the rappers that died during the Chicago drill movement in the aftermath of that. Think about all the rappers that have died in LA since. Think of all the rappers that have died through the New York drill scene that is ongoing right now. Are you kidding me? The numbers must be way higher now. So many rappers have been killed between 2015 and 2024. And the vast majority, and I mean the vast majority of them, have been killed by another black person. There is a problem here. If black folks weren't the ones taking each other's lives out here, right? If that's what you want to try to suggest, then how come all these rappers move to white areas to stay safe? How come they move straight to a white neighborhood? All right, they're not trying to live amongst black people because they know it is more dangerous. They're trying to get out. They're trying to live around white people. Do y'all not see the problem with that? I mean, what's one of the first things people tell a rapper to never do? Return to their hood. Why? Because they will likely get killed. I mean, that's how X died, right? He returned to where he was from, and what happened? So many rappers, Nipsey Hussle, etc., they die in their own hoods, in their own areas, because members of their own community don't want to see them thrive. They're envious, etc. Whatever the case may be, it's a black man killing another black man. Over what? One thing I think we really need in the black community is situation de-escalation, whether it be in the form of courses or a mentor, I don't care. We need situation de-escalation practices. We need to teach our community how to defuse a situation before guns get drawn. Because far too often, whether it's a dispute over a girl, whether it's a dispute over someone stepping on someone's shoes, looking at someone funny, wearing the wrong colors, or something that happened on a basketball court, it doesn't matter. How often does a gun get drawn? How often do these disputes end peacefully? If nobody has a gun on them, they're just going to beat each other up. It always ends violently. Not always. Obviously, I'm exaggerating here, but far too often, especially compared to other groups in this country, does it end in a violent way. And this once again circles back to my primary point of this video. I think there is a lack of value for life within the black community. I mean, look at this here. How often do we see black folks disrespecting the graves of other black folks? How often do we see funerals getting shot up in the black community? Now, I want y'all to really consider what's likely to be the outcome of this here. This is ultimate disrespect. We all know this. You don't do shit like this. This will have people's family members come looking for you, not just outside of the ops and shit. This will have people's family members looking to come kill you. Do you think this is going to end in a peaceful way? Like, be honest. Someone's going to die over this. Someone's going to get sent to prison over this. This is problematic. How do you think the person died in the first place? He was likely killed. Let's be honest. He was likely killed. I don't think he died from a heart attack or anything. No, he was probably shot. And now we're going to pull up to his grave and disrespect his grave site and have more people looking to really come kill you. And then that's another black man dead. Do you see the problem? You see how the ball gets rolling here? Now I want to show y'all this video here. I can't show the whole video because someone does end up getting shot at in this video. But I really want to talk about this one. I want y'all to see how effortless and easy, with no second thought, this dude just pulls out a gun and tries to kill somebody. Broad day.
Hey, I'm like that too. I'm gangster. Real gangster.
Everybody just out here.
I'm free.
Yeah. So, you see what he's saying, right? This is a battle of insecurity right here. That's all this is. It's a battle of insecurity. One guy hits the other. Now, you could just shoot the fade broad day. You know, like, you don't look good doing that, but shit. It's better than, I don't know, attempting murder in broad daylight. Right? Because then you could kill him, then you're in prison for the rest of your life, and now it's two black men put away forever. I mean, if you have to solve it with violence, at least just kick the ones. I mean, shit, at least one of y'all probably won't end up in prison or dead doing that shit. But no. We have to instantly resort to pulling out a gun and trying to shoot him in the head. Now, I want y'all to specifically listen to what's coming out of his mouth here. Listen to what he's saying.
Hey, I'm like that too. I'm free. Gangster. Real gangster.
Everybody just out here.
I'm free.
So he's saying, I'm G, I'm gangster, I'm really like that, I'm from this area, da da da. Like, why is this even relevant? Who cares, bro? Who cares if you're a gangster or not? What's your credit score? Your jacket is worth 2 bands, but you take a bus to your baby mama's crib. That's not real gangster, bro. That's some bum shit. Get a life. Get a job. Do something. Outside of just proving you're a gangster all day long to people. No one gives a shit except other bums. You're constantly trying to prove to other insecure bums that you're less of an insecure bum than they are. What do you think you'll amount to? Anything more than being another insecure bum? Get a job, bro. Get your shit together. Nobody cares how many bands you can spend at Bloomingdale's in a day. What's your relationship like with your father? What's your relationship like with your son? No one gives a shit about all this other materialistic bullshit. It doesn't matter. We have grown ass men out here more willing to invest their money in a Hellcat than invest their money in a tuition for their child that they spend no time with. And then these same people will come out here and ridicule other black men. They have their heads in the books, who are trying to, make it to university, who are trying to get a good job, good thing going for themselves, who work a 9 to 5, etc. They're staying out the streets. They're staying out of trouble. They're focused on life and prosperity. They'll ridicule them and say, oh, you're not gangster like me, bro. You don't work the block. You don't know. You're not tough like this. You're not from here. Like, bro, I bet you he'll live to see the age of 35. What are you talking about? I bet you his child won't end up incarcerated by the age of 12. What are you talking about? I mean, before the dispute even really took off, he's already clutching. He's already clutching before anything really even happened here, bro. And what, you get slapped in the face. So, oh, I gotta take his life now. I mean, bro, take your beating like a man. Shoot the fade. I mean, what are you doing, bro? Like, you get hit. Like, what kind of age of insecure, weak ass bitch boys are we living in where you get hit and your first reaction is, well, I gotta shoot this guy. Kick the ones, bro. What are you doing? It's the almost eager willingness to take another person's life. That's the issue here. Like, there's no reluctancy. It's just, oh, any excuse to just kill somebody today, I'll take it. This bum ass crash out mentality is weighing black men down, especially black men. It's weighing them down. And I think a lot of it has to do with this skewed sense of masculinity. Because let's look at this right here, all right? Children in single parent families by race and ethnicity in the United States. Now, let's look at the percentages here. We can see African American, all right, the percentage is 63%. Now compare that to all these other numbers right here. It's obviously, there's a massive disparity here. Now what happens is these men are growing up with no father figure, nobody in their life to guide them through their masculinity, becoming a man, what it means to be a man. Your mother can only do so much. At the end of the day, it's still a woman, and that's a boy growing into a man. And a woman, she's gonna, especially if she's working multiple jobs to support the family, it's difficult to guide a man through becoming a man as a woman. Naturally, this can be difficult. So a lot of these young men, they don't know, right? And they think that being a man and masculinity, it resides in intimidation and violence, etc. You know what I mean? Joining a gang, they think that's what makes you a man. That's what makes you tough, right? There's like this mentality within the black community, like, oh, you've never been in a fight, well, then you're less of a man. So there is a direct correlation with being violent in masculinity and being a real man, right? And when we look at other groups in this country, we don't see that same correlation. We really don't. When I would get in a fight at school and I would come back, all the black kids at school dapping me up, people I don't even know. Everyone wants to talk to me. Everyone wants to be around me. They're dapping me up. I'm the man, bro. Everyone wants to be around me now because I'm Mr. Tough Guy and shit. The white kids, the Asian kids, oh, they wanted nothing to do with me. They were scared of me. Like, oh no, this dude's a crash out. He's not going to amount to anything in life. I don't want to be around him. He's problematic. He's a liability. I don't want to be around this crazy dude. But all the black kids at school, they all wanted to be around me because they actually like put stock in that type of violent image. Like they like that shit. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, well, you have a pit bull. I have a cane corso. You have this. I have that. You have this gun. I have a bigger gun. It's all about who's more violent, who's more dangerous, etc. Like that's where we're putting our stock. That's where we're putting our value in. Like who has the greatest potential for violence and who's most willing to exercise it. Personally, I don't think that being violent and willing to exercise your violent potential makes you a man. I think calmly de-escalating a situation and showing that you have true control over the situation, that's what makes you a man. Imagine a man is having a dispute with another man and the only way he can control or de-escalate the situation is by fighting him and beating him into submission, versus a man, right, who he can diffuse the entire situation by calmly saying, stop, that's enough. And the person automatically listens. That's a man. I have way more respect for that person. If you have to resort to force or violence to control a situation, then you don't really have control over that situation, do you? But if you don't have to exercise any of these and you can calmly de-escalate a situation, that's true control. If you can just use your voice, just use your words to de-escalate a situation, you can just talk it out and make things peaceful with just your words. No violence involved. That's true control. That is true masculinity. And this is why I say, I think we need de-escalation mentors in our communities, right? To teach kids how to de-escalate situations, how to walk away from a situation without it blowing up into guns drawn, this, that, and the third, people dying, bro. People getting beat up. It doesn't matter if it doesn't even need to be guns being drawn, just someone getting hurt, resorting to violence. We need people in the community to teach our people how to not resort to that so often, because obviously it's being resorted to very often. The statistics back me up. So once again, I want to talk about the lack of value for life. Look at this right here. Is this not the most ratchet shit you have seen all week? Bro, what am I looking at right now? What am I even this dude on the side is doing this like, oh my God, bro, what am I seeing? Like, someone just died, bro. You can't say, well, twerking is her coping mechanism. Are you shitting me? I don't want to hear that, bro. I don't even want to hear that. She's shaking her ass. Her shit is slipping out of her dress. She's got to keep pulling it down. She's putting her leg up and shit on somebody's coffin. I don't even know what to say, bro. I don't even know. What do you say? What do you say to this? This is some too far gone shit. Even this dude is shaking his head. It's the lack of value for life. That's the problem. The lack of value for life. I don't know who died here. I don't know. I see a lot of white people attending this funeral. I don't know whose funeral this is. I see black folks, white folks, could be a mixed race person. I don't know who died here, but bro, you're shaking your ass. You have your ass falling out of your dress, shaking it at a funeral, at someone being put in the ground. You don't take anything serious. You really don't take shit. If you can't take a goddamn funeral serious, then what are you taking serious? I know she's not taking raising her kids serious if she has kids. I know she ain't taking that shit serious. You think she's taking her son's grade serious? She can't even take a funeral serious. But this is someone who's going to be a mother, likely a single mother. If we look at the statistics, I mean, that's just the likelihood of it. She'll likely be a single mom. You think she's going to take her kid's future serious? She can't even take someone's death serious. I don't want to hear it, bro. And this don't got shit to do with white people, bro. You can't always pin this shit on white supremacy. Did white supremacy lead this black woman to twerk at a funeral? Are you kidding me? How about all the other black women there that aren't doing that shit? Did white supremacy just like skip over them? Or like what's your excuse this time? Let's hear it. What is your excuse this time? Let's go over this video right now. I saw this the other day. This is crazy as shit. It really is. It's crazy as shit. Look at this, bro. We're not giving enough successful, intelligent black women voices, loud enough voices. All right. There are plenty out there with voices, but they're not loud enough. They're not louder than Sexy Reds. They're not louder than Ice Spices. They're not louder than et cetera, et cetera. All right. Glorilla. We need to give proper role models for little black girls the spotlight. We need to take it off Sexy Red, Ice Spice, and Glorilla. I don't even know how to react to this, bro. I really don't. Like, people always... I get so many people saying, oh, your videos are contributing to white supremacy and your videos are contributing to racism. Like, people just say crazy, dumb shit just flying out of their mouth with no reason, nothing behind it. So what is this contributing to? You got a black woman out here coming out on stage in front of a crowd of white folks, shaking her butt, shaking ass in front of a whole crowd of white folks, bro. Do you think this contributes anything good to the image of black women, especially in the eyes of white people? I know a lot of people say, oh, the eyes of white people don't matter. It's a predominantly white country. You know, they own like the majority of the wealth in the country and they're likely going to be your boss or something. Like, yeah, it matters. You don't have to think it matters. You don't want it to matter. I understand that, but it does matter in a predominantly white country. How white people perceive you does matter. So how do you think this impacts that image, right? This right here. How do you think this affects how you're going to be perceived, right? The thing is, most black women are nothing like this, right? They're nothing like this, but they will get bunched in because this is what everybody is seeing around the world, etc., etc. I mean, you're going to have people that have never met a black person before, right? People in Asia, other places of the world, or other parts of the country where no black people live in their town, etc. And this is the image, this is the perception of black people that they have, that they walk away with. And then you have some black woman that has never engaged in this type of behavior, and she's as appalled by this as anybody else, and she's going to get bunched in. It's like guilty by association, but they're not guilty of anything. And that's the problem. And people, it's like they don't think about the perception this puts off to the rest of the world. It's all about me, me, me. This is my clout, my attention. I'm going to make a moment for myself right here. But they're not thinking about the actual implications of doing something like this. I mean, people always want to talk about the sexualization, the objectification of black women. But as you can see, who's doing it? Who's contributing to it the most? Black women. This is problematic. This is a problem, bro. And yes, I know that sexualizing black women has roots in slavery and other things, but who's doing it right now? Who are we looking at right now? We're looking at Sexy Red. That's who we're looking at. We're not talking about what happened hundreds of years ago. We're talking about what's happening in 2024. It's the Glorrillas, the Megan Thee Stallions, the Nicki Minaj's, the Ice Spices, the Sexy Reds. That is who is primarily sexualizing and objectifying black women. That's who's doing it. Stop pointing the finger. Everyone wants to always circle it back to some shit that happened hundreds of years ago. I'm talking about 2024. Who's doing it right now? Who are we looking at right now? Shaking their bare ass in front. Oh, not their bare ass, but you know, some high ass shorts, whatever. It don't matter. Who's hitting a full split and shaking butt in front of a whole crowd of white people? A black woman. And that's the problem. And then who's going to go ahead and end up profiting off of this? Well, whoever owns her music at the end of the day, and it's likely a white guy. That's the truth of it, right? But in order to put this image off of black people, you need a black person to do it. You know what I mean? You need a puppet. And they use black people who are complicit, who are willing to throw their whole community under the bus to profit, and then the white man above them profits. But at the end of the day, we need a compliant black individual, and that's what these people are. They are puppets that throw their own people under the bus for profit, for green, because at the end of the day, green is the only color that matters. This is how you influence the culture. You get members of the community to do it for you, because a white person can't influence the black community like another black person can. So they use black people to influence black people. But at the end of the day, you need a willing participant. All right. And it's the willingness to do such a thing, right? This is a traitor. This is someone who does not care about their own community. This is someone who is willing to throw their community under the bus and tarnish the community's image, all for their own profit. Tons of rappers and other artists do exactly this. This is my issue. Listen to this shit right here, bro.
Do that dance. Do you little dance? What you doing?
I don't like your music.
Why?
I always hear nigga, this, nigga, that.
Man, shut up. Hey.
You see the problem here, bro? Like, what are the role models? Like, what is this, bro? What is this? Like, this kid already, I could see, is very smart. I could just tell he's very smart. He's seeing something that most kids would never even pick up on. This kid has a very bright future, but with a role model like this could be wasted potential here. How often do you see a kid say something so profound at this age? I mean, he's already picking up. He's like, I don't want to hear this shit. Nigga this, nigga that. I don't want to hear this shit. But who's leading? And here's the thing is, despite this individual negatively influencing him, he's still seeing things for what they are. I know he's a smart kid. I know he's very smart. But this type of influence on him, this leadership role that he has to follow,
What you doing?
This is going to put him in a bad place in life. This is going to derail him. I hope his intellect trumps the influence. I hope he sees through it at a young age, but imagine feeling so alone at this age, being the only one in your household or community that's seeing things for what they are, and everyone's always trying to influence. Oh, shut up, bro. Just listen to the music. Like, but you see it for what it is. You see the negative influence for what it is, but everyone's just telling you to shut up and fall in line. And then what we're all going to end up in the same freaking spot, bro. We're all going to end up in the same spot.
I don't like your music.
Why?
I always hear nigga, this, nigga, that.
Man, shut up.
Like, bro, that's sad, bro. Like, that's actually sad. And you even see the comments, bro. They're saying, like, turn this off. I don't like the father's reaction. I don't know if it's the father or an older brother, but it doesn't matter, bro. At the end of the day, it's a massive influence for this young kid, and he's trying to listen to something else, bro. Like, he's not trying to listen to your gangster rap bullshit that has no substance whatsoever. But here you go, you're telling him to shut up when he's expressing himself. You see what I'm saying, bro? Like, I see that little Gucci wallet right there, like, just the materialism, the same, like, think differently. You get told to shut up. You get told you're this. You get called, you know, Uncle Ruckus or whatever, bro. Like, all the different tactics within the community itself to sheepify the members of the community, to think like only one way and, you know, follow the same path as everyone else, but then expect something differently. And then when nothing goes differently, oh, well, we're going to blame it on the white guy. Like, what? It doesn't make any sense. It really doesn't. Let's talk about negative influences in the black community.
You stole from the stove. You just stole from that stove minute. Come on, your daddy did too. Come on, they roll. Fuck Alexander. Come on.
You see the problem with this? You see the problem? You're teaching your kid how to steal. How many videos have I already shown on this channel of exactly this? Black parents teaching their kids how to steal, or that stealing is okay. I had a lot of people come, oh, you're cherry picking all day. Black folks aren't doing this. Da, da, da. How many videos have I shown already of this shit happening? This is obviously a problem. So for those who don't understand what's happening here, let's break it down. All right. So the caption here says she's seen her cousins at the store stealing. So first of all, that's already a bad influence. She's already being influenced by other black members of her family, whatever, to steal. So she starts stealing herself, right? So as a father, what's your duty here to your own daughter and to her future, right? It would obviously be, hey, let's go back in. We're going to return this stolen merchandise and you can't be stealing anymore. And for every time I catch you stealing, we're going to go ahead and do this again. But it should end there. All right. You need to, this is the moment you teach your kid between the difference between right and wrong, to not steal, to not take shortcuts, to work for what you want, etc. All right. To be an honest individual in life, to be competent, etc. But instead, he has her show him what she stole. And then he says, well, your daddy stole too. Let's go. Fuck Dollar General. Really? For everybody watching, where do you think her future resides? With a father like this, with a role model like this in her life, where do you think she's going to end up? Tell me. Be honest. Be honest with yourself. Where do you think this little girl is going to end up in life with a role model like this in her life? This is her father teaching her and showing her that this is okay and leading by example. Oh, I stole too. It's okay. Let's go. This shit is just, this shit, I don't even know how to react, bro. My primary issue is that I've seen so many videos just like this, bro. Like so many that I don't even post, bro. I don't even post them. But I've seen so many videos just like this, bro. And then I have people with the audacity to come into my comment section and say I'm cherry picking. Bro, I'm sparing us by not showing all the videos, because trust me, it would make us look way worse. I'm doing us a favor right now, but I'm going to hold people accountable for the bullshit I see. And this has direct correlation with the statistics we see in regards to crime within the black community in America. You can't say these things don't matter because the numbers show otherwise. How long are we going to be intellectually dishonest and beat around the bush and void black people of any accountability whatsoever and pin everything on the white people, on white supremacy? Like, what does white supremacy have to do with teaching your goddamn daughter the difference between right and wrong? There's no white person controlling what he tells his daughter right now. This is him. These are his words coming out of his mouth. This is a grown-ass man who can think for himself, and he is deciding to teach his daughter that it is okay to steal and leading by example. And she learned it from her cousins that did no different. So how can you pin this on the white man? Where is the white man present in this situation? So then when a Dollar General in the hood pulls out because they're getting their shit stolen all the time, because she's already stealing with her cousins, right? Or her cousins are already stealing. So, you know, there's obviously theft in this neighborhood, in this area, right? When they pull out, everyone's going to call the business racist. Oh, you're pulling out of black communities. Oh, you're creating a food desert. Now we have to drive 40 minutes away to get groceries, etc., etc. We don't have the gas money to do that. Well, you shouldn't have been stealing. Should you? Shit. If it isn't the consequences for my own goddamn actions. That's crazy, right? That's crazy. Oh, it must be racist. Bullshit, bro. Stop these mental gymnastics and all this shit that you hear from your little Marxist professors or your little Twitter threads throwing buzzwords left and right. Like, engage in my topics. Engage in the discussion here. All right, I get so many people in my comments trying to attack me and what I'm saying. But look, bro, if you have to attack me, that means you can't attack my point. If you have to attack me on a personal level, that's because you can't attack the points I'm making. So you have to try to prove me wrong in any other way except proving me wrong. So you're just gonna say, oh, well, you're from here or you look like this. You're trying to use the color of my skin to refute the points I'm making in a video. That means you have no point to make. The color of my skin is completely irrelevant to the point I'm making here. What did you just witness? A black man teaches black daughter to steal. And where did she learn to steal? From her black cousins. So what are we talking about? Engage in the point. Don't attack me. Engage in the point I'm making. Instead of coming at me crazy, right? And trying to attack me on any personal level and call me racial slurs, etc. Engage in what I am showing you. Disprove what is right in front of your face. Go ahead, do it. All right, so I'm going to go over one last video. I do try to end things on a positive note and use a black voice to uplift the community, okay? So that's what I'm going to do here. I'm going to end it with this video here, but I do want to start making more videos like this, so I'm going to save these other videos, but I want to show y'all this guy's take on things, his perspective right here.
If you could have a conversation with your 20-year-old self, what would that sound like?
Damn, you good. All right, peep game. In my 20s, I was extremely wild. At that time, they were doing a lot of gang violence, and I lived in the area where that was happening. I actually got shot when someone tried to carjack me. What I would tell myself, stay a nerd, because I started out as a nerd, but I wanted to be cool like everybody else, and the two don't mix. If you think longevity, you don't know it at 20, but everything you do manifests to how you become. I'm just thankful that God was in my life. He was able to put positive mentors and people in my life to steer me clear. I have the best mom in the world. Yeah, I'm blessed.
If you could have a conversation with
There we go. So as you can see, he strayed away from the bullshit. All right. He didn't feed into it. He didn't feed into the toxic parts of the culture. All right. He stayed a nerd, as he said. I'm sure he got picked on a lot for that growing up, right? But he kept his head on his shoulders. He kept his head in the books. He stayed out of the streets. He made the right decisions. And he got the outcome he wanted in life. And that's the thing, is a lot of people will say, oh, well, this happens because of white supremacy. I just got that comment on my video. They say black people are simply victims of white supremacy. Well, how about this guy? How about all the rich and affluent black people in this country? Did white supremacy just skip over them all? Or did they make the right decisions? Did they stay out of the bullshit? My father is the perfect example of this. He went to shitty DC public schools. He grew up during the crack epidemic. Crime was through the roof. Want to know what he didn't do? Start selling drugs, commit crime, right? He didn't join a gang. He stayed out of the streets. He kept his head in the books. All right. He went to trade school. He's in a predominantly white trade. And he, as a black man, managed to move up and make really good money, more money than most of his the white people in his field. He makes, as a black man, more money than most white people in his field, right? Because he made the right decisions. He's from the same hood. All these black folks that now live in Southeast, etc., right? They're broke, bummy, ain't contributing shit, have been in and out of prison, like my other cousins, etc., right? He's from the same place, but got a way different outcome because why? He stayed out of the bullshit. He made the right decisions. It's almost as if bad decisions give you a bad outcome and good decisions give you a good outcome, regardless of your race. So for all those who say that all these black people you see in these videos, they're simply in these positions because they're victims of white supremacy. So how about all the black folks that are successful? Huh? How about them? Did white supremacy just skip over all of them? I mean, they're from the same areas. My father grew up in the same area, and most people from that area are locked up or they did not amount to shit in life. But now he lives a real good life and he's making real good money in his predominantly white field, making more money than all the white people he works around. So did white supremacy just skip over him? All right, was he just immune to it? Or did he work his ass off and get the outcome that he worked for? You cannot always chalk shit up to white supremacy or white people holding you down, because that is not the real case. That's not what's happening. You have a fake issue with no solution because fake problems don't have solutions. So it's always going to be a built-in excuse for everything you do wrong, all of your mediocrity, every outcome that you shot for that you didn't get. You're always going to blame it on something that is non-existent, that has no real solution. And you're going to pin it all on that all the time, and it's never going to change. Nothing will ever improve because, like I said, fake problems don't have solutions. They don't have real solutions. It's a made up thing in your head. You are living with a victim mentality. This is why you are not moving forward. It's not the white man holding you down. Trust me. Why don't you drive through Upper Marlboro, knock door to door on all those multi-million-dollar homes, all black owned, right? Why don't you knock door to door and tell them, oh, you're actually a victim of white supremacy? They're going to be like, what are you talking about? No, I stayed in school. I stayed out of crime. I got a good paying job. I had a family. We're a good family, etc. Like, what are you talking about? You're going to tell them they're all oppressed? No, they made the right decisions in life, and now they're enjoying the fruits of their labor. I'm in the middle of editing this video, but something I would like to add before I end it is a clarification on what I mean when I say it is not a racial issue, but instead a cultural issue, because a lot of people seem to misinterpret me here. The idea that black people commit crimes because their skin color is black is racist. I don't know how else to cut that. You're just a racist if this is what you believe. The point I am trying to make with these videos is that African American culture does not promote prosperity. It does not promote excellence. It instead promotes degeneracy. We see it being promoted many ways, but I think the primary tool is through hip hop. Now, I had a lot of old school black folks come into my comments and say, well, this new hip hop, that's not black culture. But that is intellectually dishonest. Look, I don't like this new hip hop either. All right. I think old school hip hop, that was true hip hop. But just because it is not something you like and that it has morphed into something else does not mean it is no longer hip hop. That is still the genre of music that is being created, whether you want to label it hip hop, rap, whatever. I'm using these terms synonymously. This is the primary tool that I believe is being used to influence black Americans into acting like complete degenerates. Now, if you wish to argue that hip hop is not black culture, then I must ask you, whose culture is it then? Are you going to actually sit here and tell me that hip hop is white culture? I mean, if it's not black culture, African American culture, what have you, then why are the vast majority of the artists black? I mean, why do so many black people listen to it? Why do so many black people resonate with it? I don't think you can argue that it is not part of the culture, and I think you can argue that it is probably the biggest and one of the most influential parts of the culture. I mean, it influences the language, the style. It influences so much within the community and the culture. How could you possibly argue that it has no correlation and that it is not part of the culture? I think if you believe that just because somebody is born black, this automatically means that they're going to be more prone to crime, they're going to be twerking everywhere, etc., etc. I think if you believe this, then you are a racist. All right. You have to take into account the factors that influence these behaviors, not just the color of their skin. The color of somebody's skin has nothing to do with how they're going to act. All right. Culture and experiences in large part is what impact and influence these things. If you take a white person and you surround them with a violent and almost barbaric culture, then they're going to act that way. I mean, look at the barbarians. They were white, and hey, that's where we got the word barbaric from. All right. So this can be true for anybody. If you surround them around the violence and you champion the violence and you champion all these negative things, then obviously it's going to influence them. It's going to impact them. I mean, duh, anyone can be subjected to these things and slip into this hole, right? Anybody, regardless of their skin color, can succumb to it. So I don't believe that this idea that being born black makes you inherently violent or inherently prone to crime is true at all. That's actually just the most terrible and racist thing. You're wild if you think that. That's all I got to say for this video. None of this was scripted. I like to speak from the soul when it comes to shit like this. I keep shit raw and real. So I want y'all to get my most honest takes on these types of subjects. And I think it's important that we really speak from the soul. So I'm not just another person speaking from a script, you know, not really giving you some legit shit, my real feelings on the matter, because I feel like we don't have enough authenticity when it comes to topics like these. It's always walking on eggshells and shit, and I don't want to do that. I just want to speak. I just want to keep shit real. So that's why I approach this type of subject matter in such a way. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of y'all's day. Feel free to comment and speak your truth, you know, be honest. I want to create a space where people can express themselves freely, whether they agree or disagree with me. And if you do disagree with me, I would appreciate you not turn it into some sort of argument or insult me. Engage in the points I made, and bring up your own statistics and your own, your own sources, because anyone can just say anything, but it's better if you back it up, because I back what I say with proof. I put it right in front of you. I show you the numbers. I show you the videos that actually back my points. So if you can't do the same, then I would suggest you just not try to engage in that with me, because it's not going to amount to anything productive, because I have nothing to disprove if you don't give me any material. So it's just it's pointless. So yeah, hope y'all enjoy the rest of y'all's day. Stay healthy, stay safe. Peace.